Man, quite the controversy from my pocket hole tests. I thought, isn't it obvious that pocket holes aren't very strong? But to satisfy everybody, I decided to retest with glue. And to do that, I have to use the same wood, and I already thrown that wood in as a firewood, so I had to go back to my Big Country workshop and retrieve the stuff from the firewood so I could cut out some more samples from it. And I made some more pocket hole joints with glue this time. I just reused the other end of the pieces of wood. See, this was a pocket hole test originally, and this used to have a tenon. No, actually, that was a dowel joint. So I've got all these pieces from the same wood so that I'll be able to compare those fairly with the other ones that I've done, and they've all got glue on them. I think what people believe is that if you glue the pocket hole joint, it's like a butt joint and the screw joint together, and should be as strong as the sum of the two of them, but I suspect that's not the case because the screw joint, the pocket hole joint, tends to yield a little bit before it reaches maximum strength, whereas the butt joint does not yield, so I expect one to break and then the other to break. Okay, here goes glued pocket hole joint number 1. Okay, I'm on there good. 60. That was just slipping in here. The joint's still good. 80. 85. Scale is just under 90. The joint has got a crack in it already, so I suspect that butt joint is not adding much anymore. 100. 105. Well, that got up to 115. And now it's failed. So I just realized, uh-oh, I forgot to measure where I applied the force. And the divot is right here. And I got lucky because that ends up at exactly 15 centimeters. So this test is still good. Alright, glued pocket hole test sample number 2. So it's opening up and we're at 90 pounds. Oops. And we're at 110. 115. Ooh, 125. That didn't stay there though. So this one got to about 130 pounds. My third pocket hole sample. That's 50 pounds, and I think that just cracked open. Yeah, that one's not doing super well. Well, 110 pounds. And it went. And the butt joint's already opening up. 70. Oh, this one's not doing well. I think that was about 75 pounds. And the butt joint has already opened up. But we're at 115 as much as 120. There it goes. What's interesting is the joints are failing a little bit differently this time. I'm getting the screw head pulling through here, whereas last time I always had the screw pulling out of the wood, so possibly the glue helped a little bit, or possibly that I had my jig set up a little bit differently, because I'm getting the point coming out of the other side on every one of them, which means I have a bit more thread in the wood here. Of course, that also means it weakens it just a tiny bit here. There's a couple more joints that I made with some other scraps before I retrieved the other ones from my Big Country shop. And this is a slightly lighter wood. I rejected that wood initially because when I weighed it, it was lighter, and that might bias the tests. And I don't have the screw penetrating on the back here. So just out of curiosity, let's see how these ones will do. Slightly lighter wood, pocket hole test number 1. And of course it's glued. Okay, the glue joints opened up and we're at about 65, 70 pounds. And that one only went to about 80 pounds to fail. Here's the second one of my tests with the lighter wood, and I put that one on with the pockets facing the other way around because there's not very much glue squeeze out here and plenty here, so I want to give that one every advantage by having all the glue where the tension is going to be. Okay, glue just popped, and we're at 55 pounds or so. And that one again didn't even reach 80 pounds. And looking at these two, both of them failed by the screw thread pulling out of this piece here. They have less penetration than the other ones did, but this would be more the correct setup because you really don't want the point of the screw sticking out the other side of the wood. And of course they are at a disadvantage that even though this is wood from the same batch, so to say, these two pieces were a bit lighter, so I rejected them initially. Now, just out of curiosity, I've also made some butt joint samples because I wanted to see how much the butt joint is actually able to contribute to the pocket hole joint. Butt joint sample number 1. Well, that failed at under 40 pounds. 50? Oh. Ooh, that failed quick. So I hope this gives you an appreciation for the difficulty of running tests like this. It's really difficult to get consistent results because there's so many factors that affect joint strength. And on every one of my pocket holes with the glue failed before the joint actually reaches ultimate strength. So I don't believe that the glue joint actually contributes to the ultimate strength. And I think the main reasons these ones were maybe about 20% stronger than my previous pocket hole tests is that I over-penetrated on the screws and actually had them sticking out the back. I was just editing my video, and this is the one that only did 75 pounds, whereas the other ones did about 120 pounds. And looking on here, the screws hardly penetrate out the back at all, just a little bit here, whereas the ones that did 120 pounds have got a fair bit of screw sticking out the back. And these light ones, which are 8% lighter, nothing sticking out the back. So I think the degree of screw penetration is really what made all the difference. So this is one of the lighter ones that wasn't very strong. And this is how far the screws were in, so they just about went through. So I think this is the correct amount of screw penetration that I should have used for all the joints.